Let's go on to see how the internet did react to the 2-2 draw yesterday. So if you bring that up, Football Confidential saying an undeniable pattern is emerging in the Tottenham performances this season. And Sim did mention in the WhatsApp group last week when we found out we were playing in this kit, he was just like, oh, for God's sake. And the passing accuracy in that kit seems to be quite a bit lower than the passing accuracy in the other kit. And
I don't know whether
I don't even know what. I still don't know what color that kit is.
Well, they call it toupee something. I don't know. Or some people
Coffee,
call it cappuccino.
Coffee kit.
I hate this kit. I think we always play badly in this kit. I don't know why we keep
Man City was all right.
The second half against Man City was decent, but maybe it's just we play hard games. We played Everton away, Brighton away, City away, and Fulham away.
But why didn't we play in our home?
We haven't won.
What was the need to play in this kit yesterday?
I think maybe we have to play a certain amount of games in the kit,
ridiculous,
or something like that. But we always play badly. I feel like in this kit, I don't think we ever play well, and I don't know if there's something to it in terms of the color of this kit. Does it blend in with the crowd? I don't know, because this kit is very weird color. It's very dull. It doesn't stand out, and that's what you need when you're on the ball and you have to make very quick decisions. I'm not saying this kit is to blame. I'm just saying
the kit is to blame.
I don't like the kit. Stop using the kit. Never wear it again. Imagine we have a big game late in the season. We have to play in this bloody kit. It's going to absolutely infuriate me. So I don't know. I
bet you'll be playing this kit at Newcastle away.
Oh, we're definitely losing that if that happens. We might as well give them the points. Might as well give them the points when that happens.
Match of the day. Tweeting out saying Richarlison's resurgence is real. So first 39 games, 2 goals, 51 shots, 4% conversion rate, and 786 minutes per goal. Judging by his last 8 games, 9 goals, 25 shots, 36% conversion rate, and 69 minutes per goal. That is some increase.
That's mad. 51 shots in 39 games and 25 in the last 9. What an improvement. And also, the shot conversion so big, so much better as well. And even when we signed him, I thought he was a good finisher. I never thought he was an amazing finisher, but maybe he's proving people wrong, and maybe his finishing's better than we give him credit for as well, because he's starting to really find the corners in a lot of his finishes. And those 2 finishes yesterday were the best of the lot. 2 of his best goals in the Tottenham shirt for sure. So this guy's in firing form. I'm here for it. I'm loving every second of it.
I think he's actually in better form than Harry Kane at the moment.
Better form than Harry Kane
for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, definitely.
Squawker Live saying Destiny Udogie has now been directly involved in 5 Premier League goals for Tottenham this season, 2 goals, 3 assists, goal involvements in back-to-back games for the 21-year-old as well. And I thought it was a really good display from Destiny yesterday.
Yeah, I thought it was a mixed display. I thought there was good things that stood out, which when he did do the good things, you remember them because they were very good. I did think there were occasions in the build-up play he was struggling a bit. Maybe there were occasions I thought he looked a bit tired, a bit leggy, but there are some times where he just bulldozes through players. He just looks unstoppable, and it's so great. But sometimes with his decision-making, with his passing, needs to be a bit better.
I call Destiny the steam train, because once he gets going, once he just trying to bulldoze his way past players, there is no stopping him. And there was a moment, it actually got caught up in the vlog yesterday when Destiny did go bulldozing through. You just hear me go in the background, go on the steam train.
Brilliant.
Squawker Live saying Richarlison apologised to the Everton fans after giving Tottenham the lead at Goodison Park. And I noticed something with Richarlison yesterday for the second goal he scored, because obviously it was a brilliant goal, the best goal he scored in his Spurs shirt, and he actually rushes off to go and celebrate, and then he realises who he scored against, and he just quickly stopped himself.
Yeah. I don't know if I've seen players not celebrate. I don't know if I've ever seen the players apologise for scoring. I don't know, that's not very common, but he seemed very apologetic yesterday.
To be fair, Sonny, after beating Saudi Arabia, because the fans was like 90%, 85% Saudi Arabia in the Asia Cup last week, and he went around the stadium apologising to all the fans.
I'm so sorry for knocking you out. I'm so sorry. But look, I'm glad. It's a shame Richie wasn't able to go for it because of such great goals. But look, he's got respect for the team, which obviously he had such a great time for. So I understand it.
Yeah. Talking THFC saying poor performance, really fell for every trick in the Dyche playbook and just didn't offer enough in the physical battles. As good as this team is, it's screaming out for leadership in game. And I kind of agree with that, especially with Sonny out. You really want your leaders to step up on James Maddison and Romero. I'm just not seeing that on the pitch in the last couple of games.
Yeah, and it's I don't know what is leading, but it's leading to all these stupid decisions being made late in games, stupid free kicks being given away, not managing the game well, not doing the smart things when we're going forward. So I don't know if it's a consequence of leadership, but I guess you could put it down to that if all the rest of the team are kind of doing the same thing, the buck stops somewhere. But I think maybe it's just a consequence of this team still being very young, very early on. They have to learn how to manage these things. But definitely yesterday, it was very frustrating how in the last few minutes of the game, we were just making really dumb decisions and end up costing us.
You know what? I was thinking about this yesterday, that in terms of the captaincy, I'm seeing a lot more leadership qualities in someone like Mickey van der Ven than Cuti Romero.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm seeing better performances, but I don't know about leadership.
No, even leadership, because I'm seeing him orchestrate things. I'm seeing him shouting at other people. I'm seeing him trying to lift up other players, and I'm just don't know. I'm not seeing that from Cuti, and he's got the armband on.
Okay, look, I wasn't there yesterday, so maybe it's hard for me to say. But if that's the case, then that's interesting.
Cameron Hill says, obsessed with this weird Crystal Maze quiz zone-like shot of Seamus Coleman rushing through the tunnel at Goodison.
Do you ever watch Crystal Maze?
I used to watch it.
Yeah, do you remember they have these little shots in when they used to running through the maze and stuff? That's what that's what they're saying. They're comparing it to.
Right. That's actually quite funny. Paddy Hartnett saying, 1, lost the best striker in world football. 2, key players missing through injuries. 3, key players missing via international competitions. 4, 6 months into what was so far a good rebuild. 5 points better off from last season. Spurs fan need to relax a little. We will be fine. Look, I completely agree with that, but we can only comment on what we're seeing at the moment, and that's just the situation.
Yeah, look, there are patterns that definitely need improving. There are things that aren't quite there yet. We're still a very immature team, but there's no doubt we're going in the right direction. I don't think anyone could argue that. So anyone panicking or for being frustrated, we're in the exact position we hope to be in at this stage of the season. There's not much to complain about in terms of how we're doing results-wise or league-wise. Obviously, we're always striving for improvement, so you can always say that needs to be improved, we need to do that better. That's fine. But anyone panicking saying, Ange is out. I've seen a few tweets saying Ange is out of his depth, all this kind of rubbish. It's like,
no, that's crap.
What are you watching? It's you need to just chill out.
And look, if I said to you on the night we sold Harry Kane, if I said to you in 4th of February, with 3 months left, 4 months left of the season, we're in a serious battle for the top 4 with Everton and potentially Arsenal, you would have bitten my hand off for it.
Villa and Arsenal.
Sorry, yeah. Villa and Arsenal. Who did I say?
Everton.
Oh, yeah, Villa and Arsenal. You have bitten my hand off for it.
100%.
Because everyone was saying, we're not even going to make Europa League football.
Exactly. Everyone was saying as long as we made top 7 with some good football, that's good progression. It's like
exactly.
we're ahead of schedule.
But does expectancy and maybe does that change through a season after the first 10 games because of the way we were playing our football and the way we were just battering teams?
I think naturally it does change, but it's not like we ever put ourselves in a position where we're 10 points clear at the top or anything. And it was always, obviously, with all the injuries and everything that happened, all the circumstances, I think we're still doing well in a good position.
I agree. Spurs Army tweeted this out. This is brilliant. One Everton fan didn't take to Richarlison's apology too well. Definitely didn't accept the apology because he's seen there hitting his old Richarlison shirt, and Richarlison actually commented back on it and says, "Yes, bro, I don't like the number 30 either. I prefer 7." That's brilliant.
That's brilliant from Richarlison. Yeah, I want to have a go at it as well. Absolutely fantastic. Everton fans falling out of love with it. Why do people do this?
And post it online.
Literally. I know we're ones to talk, but we don't do that kind of. We don't go and take shirts and start punching it as if it's. I don't know what he's trying to prove, but anyway, it's a bit weird. But I love Richarlison there for applying to it.
But his club sold him because they needed money for FFP. What do they want?
So funny.
Harry Brooks says the main issue Spurs are conceding goals and late ones is once again the final third. Kulu, the only one comfortable staying on the ball for a period of time in the final third, but he struggles being direct. Maddison can, but he's often deeper. Means if an attack doesn't, it ends in a
chance. He's in a chance. That was the
okay.
It's basically trying to say how our front three don't make it stick enough. they don't hang on to the ball, and that's exactly what I was saying. Like when we're building up, I feel like unless there's like an immediate opportunity to create a chance in a transition, our front three really struggle to hold on the ball and keep possession, and that continually means we're overturning the ball so much and constantly under pressure, and that's what happened yesterday at Everton.
Yeah. Cody Mack says, can you imagine if Richarlison won the Golden Boot this year? He's only 4 behind. That would be mental. And that's what you were saying before, isn't it? Only 4 goals behind Erling Haaland, which is a crazy turn of events, seeing as how bad he actually was last season. But it was great. I got a FaceTime call for Brian and Cody Mack after the game on the way back from Everton last week, and he definitely cheered me up. What a top quality bloke Cody Mack is.
Yeah, I missed Cody Mack on the channel. He came on the channel yesterday, but with Brian. But yeah, what a great guy. But look, in terms of Richarlison for the Golden Boot, look, if he's going to be starting number 9 for the rest of the season, who knows? Why not? If we can continue to up our goal output and stuff like that, I think, I wouldn't say he's got a great goal. Haaland's coming back from injury, so
that's what I'm saying. Like, Haaland's
he's still
been out
4 behind
for 2 months.
But maybe Rishi continues this kind of form. Who knows? I wouldn't completely rule it out.
No, he's not winning the Golden Boot.
Completely rule it out.
The only reason he's catching up to Haaland is because Haaland's been out for 2 months.
Yeah, but he's still
Haaland probably scores
goals.
a hat-trick tomorrow.
Probably. And then
there's no conversation.
Come on, Rishi for the Golden Boot. Come on.
Gus says, just question marks to this. Let's watch this clip.
And it's just Højbjerg giving it away.
Once again.
Classic Højbjerg. This is like one of the most frustrating things when Højbjerg just gives it away.
I was just there in the stands yesterday.
Look, he's got time. He's got time and space, and he just looks for a square. Look, how can you do that when you're under no pressure?
That happened quite a lot of times yesterday.
Like, I understand if you're under pressure, it can be difficult, but he's under no pressure there, and he just gives it away. Those are things that are the most frustrating things when Højbjerg does that.
Yeah.
It makes my blood boil when he does stuff like that.
Yeah, and it happens way too often.
Yeah.
Way too often. KM says 23-24, Tottenham's last-minute goal conceded list against Burnley, 94th minute, Palace, 94th minute, Chelsea, 94th and 97th minute, but we were down to 9 men at that point, playing an extremely high line. Wolves, 91st minute, Wolves, 97th minute, Newcastle, 91st minute, and Everton, 94th minute. The list will keep going. And on top of that, there are many gilt-edged chances we've conceded in the last minute as well. Yeah.
But again, to be fair, only the Everton game and the Wolves game actually affected the result. But it definitely is a pattern because clearly a pattern because we keep conceding chances, letting alone goals. We keep conceding chances late on, and that's something that needs to be rectified for sure.
Average striker Richarlison has now scored more Premier League goals than Wilson and Antonio combined. Stick that in your podcast.
Exactly. Look who's laughing now. Half they were laughing at Richarlison last season.
Richarlison should make a podcast just to bring out one episode on them.
Exactly, 100%.
Craig Pankhurst says, since Christmas, our overall performance has been poor. Brighton, shocking. Bournemouth, okay. Burnley, poor. Man United, okay. Man City, poor. Brentford, okay. Brilliant 10 minutes with Everton being poor. We've had injuries and AFCON and Asia Cup, but the players have lacked bite, too passive. And this is something I was discussing with Amir on the way home yesterday. I completely agree with that. I mean, we need to get a lot better. We need to get back to those levels that we were at earlier in the season.
Yeah, and I don't know whether it's a case of these players are coming back and they're not completely match fit yet, or I don't know if I want to put it completely down to injuries. Maybe we're just not playing that well at the moment. I don't know, maybe it's a busy period. We had a lot of games to play, but we haven't recently. In January, December was more the case. So it's just a period where we're not playing that well at the moment. I don't think we've been awful, but it's fair to say we definitely haven't been at our best. That's definitely for sure. And the results have also suffered a bit. We have had a few wins there, but the performances just haven't been up to it compared to earlier in the season for sure.
Yeah. The Stat have tweeted out saying, is it me or is this tolerance on goalkeepers getting blocked off going too far? Multiple times this game, Vicario has been bodied trying to go for the ball. I agree a bit of contact is fine, let it go, but I've just witnessed the entire half of players just consistently backing into him with no intention to play the ball. I completely agree with that. Completely agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think the goalkeeper. Well, somewhat people argue the goalkeepers are too protected, so maybe it's going back the other way to try and rectify that. But now it's going too far the other way potentially, where goalkeepers now are getting shoved, and it's a dangerous game because goalkeepers have the reason why they're so protected is because they put themselves in a lot of danger when they're coming, catching the ball. If they get bumped and stuff, if they fall awkwardly, it can cause a lot of injuries and stuff. So I understand why they're protected. But it's difficult when a player's not making a challenge. They're making like a small, if they're doing something very like cute and very like not obvious, it's hard to kind of point out, which I think happened for the goal. But for sure, there are occasions where Vicario is definitely, getting pressure on him, and maybe the referee should be pulling up, but it doesn't seem to be doing it.
Yeah, it's very frustrating because it's if they don't look at something, this is just going to keep happening time and time again. They're just going to crowd Vicario every single time. But why don't we do it to other keepers?
Yeah, we should.
Football on TNT Sports says 1 goal in 27 Premier League games in 22-23. September 23, I'm sure I'll get a good run at Tottenham and make things happen again. I'll continue to focus on the club. The storm has passed. February 24, Richarlison has now scored 9 goals in his last 8 games. What a turnaround. And a really good mentality from Richarlison, because he kept believing, didn't he? Even though you saw him visibly getting to him at times, especially at the beginning of this season. But he plugged away, sorted out his issues, and he's come back stronger. Well,
Richarlison predicted his turnaround. A lot of people didn't believe him, but look at him now. Flying form, scoring goals left, right and centre, and now adding quality to those goals as well. So I'm delighted for him. I really am, because he was going through such a tough time. You saw what a mental toll it was taking on him, and now he just seems such a man, so free and just excited for every game now.
Pedro Porro on Instagram said, a frustrating point. See you on Saturday at home, Spurs fans. Thanks for the support. And great to see these fighting words from Porro. Hopefully we can turn it around on Saturday. And in terms of what he's saying about the support, it was absolutely brilliant at Goodison Park, the away support once again.
Yeah, brilliant to see.
Zian, however you say that, says Tottenham are funny. You'll be in a rage, and it'll be fucking 8:38 a.m.
I'm guessing he's a foreign Tottenham fan. Yeah, I'm sure that would probably be us if we were living not in England, but that's it's jokes.
Talking THFC with Richarlison, just doing his little pigeon into the camera.
Never get bored of the Richarlison pigeon.
Never. We didn't see that yesterday, though. He had too much respect for the Everton fans. Spurs, James Madison on Instagram, just showing his love for Richarlison yesterday. Brilliant finishes today, brother, at Richarlison.
Fantastic.
The Tactical Times saying, despite their strong start to the season, Spurs have regressed to a level far more realistic of where they are under Postecoglou. They are only 5 points better off than they were at this stage last season. Plenty of energy and promise, but also work to do. Top 4 will be a fight, and it's looking that way, isn't it?
I don't know. I feel like top 4 will be a fight with probably Aston Villa. I still think, I know United won today, so we're 6 points away from them still, but still 6 points is fairly significant. That's still 2 games, so they still need to go on a good run to overturn us. Are we regressing to a level more? I mean, we're regressing to a level compared to the first 10 games, but as an overall, we're still, I think, ahead of where we should be. So, regressing to a more realistic, I guess it's true if you're comparing to the first 10 games, but again, we haven't had that team we had for the first 10 games back together again since, so I don't know whether if we had that team more consistently, if we'd be a lot higher up on the table, but
I guess time will tell, won't it?
Yeah,
of course, these players will be back in the next couple of weeks.
But I don't think anyone's denying there's more work to do. Of course there is. We're only 6 months in, so of course there is.
Yeah, I think that I'm really interested to see how the levels change, if the levels change once Bissouma and Son come back. Because you got to remember as well, Bissouma's form did drop off massively.
Yes.
After those first 10 games, after sending off at Luton, and he got another sent off as well. But Sonny, people are not even taking into account how much of a loss Heung-min Son is. Not only is he our captain, but he's by far our best player as well.
Yeah, best attacker.
We need to get Sonny back into that team.
Yeah, it'd be crucial.
Another tweet here saying was always going to happen at Goodison. Expected goals, they had 2.50, we had 0.91. XG from open play, they only had 0.66 though, we had 0.83. And XG from the set plays, obviously they had 1.83 and we had 0.08. And that does tell the story of the game.
Yeah, and we were stupid enough to keep giving them too many set plays. I know they're always going to put us under pressure and try and win as many as possible, but unfortunately for us, they did that they played it really, really well, but we were stupid enough to get sucked into a lot of stupid situations where we kept giving away needless set pieces.
Spurs OTM just showing this Vicario and
Van de Ven.
Ashley Young. Sorry, Van de Ven and Ashley Young coming together yesterday.
I think Van de Ven's like half his age.
Literally.
But he's
Double his size as well.
Love it.
Adam from the Hotspur season says this is so misleading. Only 3 of those 8 goals have led us to dropping points, 2 versus Wolves and 1 today. About the late goals, TNT said yesterday, you know, Spurs have now conceded 8 goals in the 90th minute this season, but most of any side in the Premier League. I mean, it is and it's not. I mean, it's misleading in terms of how many points we have dropped in the last minute, but like we bring to the point, we have conceded a lot of chances in the last minute where we've been quite fortuitous not to drop points.
Yeah, so I could even quote retweet Adam saying this is so misleading.
Yeah, exactly.
Because look, the fact of the matter is we are conceding chances late in games. We're giving the opposition encouragement. Whether those certain goals of the 8 have led to drop points, I think it's fair to say there's an issue there. I don't think you. I know those 8 goals specifically aren't necessarily indication of how we've struggled to hold on to leads, but the overall picture of Tottenham late in games is we are struggling to contain the opposition. That is true.
Yeah. Mickey van der Ven, absolutely incredible, and he was by far our best player on the pitch yesterday, Mickey van der Ven, and that was just another one of his amazing challenges.
Yeah, another one of those clips where it looks like he's got 5 yards behind the player. Looks like they're in on goal, with Van de Ven coming from nowhere and bam, getting that challenge in. It's so invaluable.
He's been an absolute revelation this season. I don't think he's had a bad game all season.
Yeah, literally. And yeah, don't think so.
Romano tweeting out, showing him some Richarlison love, saying Richarlison scores a brace in the first half and makes it 9 total goals in the last 8 games, 2 against Newcastle, 1 against Forest, 1 against Brighton, 1 against Bournemouth, Manchester United, Brentford, and 2 against Everton.
Yeah, the only one he didn't score, Brighton, he's had 2 offside goals as well in that game.
That's true.
So a guy who's very much hitting the back of the net.
All right, we'll keep it going, Richarlison. The rest of the team needs to rise to his level, and then maybe we'll start getting to those levels that we saw first 10 games of the season. But that is how the internet reacted to the game yesterday.